Hey, I know you guys are wondering, what is the single biggest ingredient to a life insurance agent success? It is going to surprise you. However, I'm going to walk through exactly what that is. I'm going to even share some examples of why it is the case. However, to kick it off and let you know what the number one ingredient is, LIMRA did a study. Now, LIMRA, right, if you look it up, it's like an insurance research firm, okay, within our industry. They have over 700 companies that are members. They study industry trends and strategies and, incorporate AML and all this stuff, right? Well, they do a lot of research as well. And LIMRA, they did a study and they surveyed the top 1%, okay, of all life insurance agents around the entire world. Top 1% of all life insurance agents. If that's you, kudos. If it's not you, okay, I would say the top 1% of all life insurance agents, probably about $450,000 or more. The average is about $45K, but I would say the top 1% is $450K-ish, okay? Could be higher for you guys that are making two or 300 grand and you just think you're just freaking crushing it and there's no other levels, okay? They did this big study. They surveyed the top 1% of all life insurance agents. And what they found is the number one character attribute amongst the top 1% of all life insurance agents was optimism, okay? You can look it up. And if you, in that study, when they just figured it out that it was optimism, if you look up the word optimism specifically, okay? If you look up the word optimism, I'm looking it up on Google right now, right? It says hopefulness and confidence about the future and the successful outcome of something, okay? So the question for you is, are you hopeful and confident that it is always going to work out? Because here's what happens, okay? Our industry gets tough and you end up losing sight of where you're going. You have a rough day on dials, you don't make sales. Dude, I remember going 0 for 9 one day when I was early in the business and I had like I had 9 appointments. I'm like, I'm gonna freaking crush it today, oh my gosh. And I go, 5 people stand me up and no show me, and then the other 4, I just freaking crapped the bed, right? And then I go 0 for 9 in a day and I'm like, gosh, dang it, I'm the worst insurance agent alive. Did anybody ever feel that? However, I woke up the next day and I was hopeful and confident about the future. You may temporarily get in a rut, but you cannot permanently quit. Albert Einstein says, stay away from negative people because they have a problem for every solution, right? One of the greatest inventors of our time. Stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. So if you think about, okay, I need to be optimistic. You're like, okay, Cody, what's next? How do I become more optimistic? How do I be more optimistic, right? Well, here's a few things that'll help, okay? Number one is you need to be thinking about what resets your mind. When you're in a funk, when you're not doing well, when you're struggling, when they're having that kind of day, what resets your mind? Here's a few things that help me. Will they help you? I don't know, but here's a few things that help me, okay? Reading a book helps reset my mind. Going on a walk resets my mind, whether it's outside or on a treadmill. It helps me, right? Writing down what I'm grateful for, right? It helps me when you're thinking about gratitude and gratefulness and you're putting yourself in a positive place. It is very hard to go negative when you have gratitude. Also, when I'm stopping and writing down my goals, right? Like you're 900% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down every single day. When I'm in a rut, man, I'll listen to some worship music or my favorite song or my favorite speaker, right? Like I have these certain things that I go to. Sometimes I'll go to multiple at a time, right? You're like, how do you do that? Well, I could walk and listen to something as an example, right? Those are some of the things that I do to reset my brain. Okay, here's what's cool. I've done this test. It's a strengths test called Clifton Strengths, right? Clifton Strengths, and it is based around these 34 different strengths from number 1 to 34. There's 34 different types of strengths. I'm talking like you're positive, or you're good at winning others over, or you're persistent, or you're intelligent, or you're a learner, or my number 1 was competition, my number 3 was command, my number 5 was relator, right? Like there's different strengths. Well, my wife did the test from 1 from 1 to 34, analyze your strengths. It doesn't mean it means they're all strengths, by the way. It doesn't mean any of them are weaknesses. They're just different levels of strengths. Okay, my empathy was a little lower, but that doesn't mean that it isn't a strength. It just means it's not as much of a strength, right? Well, my wife did this test, Clifton Strengths. Her number one strength amongst 34 different potential opportunities was optimistic. Right? Optimistic, to literally to go with what I'm talking about and to go with this study of the top 1% of all life insurance agents that just continue to persist and be hopeful and confident that it's always going to work out, even when there's bad days. What's cool about that is I've got my wife as someone that can pour into me. She's around me. She can help me. So the question for you is, who do you have around you, right? My wife is always like, even when things aren't going well and it's struggling, my wife will always say, man, the devil's trying to get us, but we're not going to let him win. Right? I don't know what you think, what you believe, what you say, but having people around you that believe, that they're hopeful, that they're confident that it's always going to work out, right? It is a special ingredient. It's the number one ingredient that life insurance agents need to continue to expand everything that you are doing. And so I want to ask you, how optimistic are you? How positive are you? When things are going great, are you like, dude, I'm in, I'm checked in, I'm locked in, I'm rolling? Okay, but what about when things are not going good? What about when life happens, right? I've had black mold enter 30% of my home while my mom's got cancer, while my father-in-law's got cancer, while I've got a negative $107,000 in the bank, while I'm buying business partners out, while our business is falling apart. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've had all of these types of things happen within a 18-month period, let's just say, a year period, whatever it was, right? But why am I'm sharing that? Because like when life happens, you have to remain confident and hopeful. I get it hurts your confidence. I get it puts you in that place, okay? But I want you to remember that you were created and called to do something big, and you were on this planet to help others. But if you're in a funk, if you're in your head, if you're not optimistic, it will hurt your ability to help others. And so I want this video, when you're ever having a bad day, or ever in a funk, or when you ever leave a bad appointment, or when you're ever like, dude, I'm checked out, I want this video to be the one video that you turn on, that you tune in, that you focus, that you lock in, that you listen to, and it helps you get out of your head. Because I'm telling you, you need to be hopeful and confident about the future, because optimism is the number one ingredient that will help you continue to grow and continue to persist and continue to win. Optimism, that's what you need. Have more of it, get more of it, see more of it, think more of it, and make sure that when you are not where you need to be, you listen back to this content. If you enjoyed it, let me know in comments below. Give me a like on the video. And if you know somebody that's ever in a funk, okay, if you know someone who's ever in a funk, share this video with them. Hope helps you. Hope helps them. Have an amazing day, an awesome year. We'll talk soon. Be optimistic. It's going to work out.